My take is, or my inspiration comes from the fact that I've been working a bit with FAO in the Great Green Wall Initiative. So I was working with FAO and reviewing their activities in this Great Green Wall Initiative. So what I would like to share with you are, according to me then, what are the reasons for success or failure. And in a way, it's a mix of technological choices, socio-economy, and organizational issues. And my mantra is that the restored farmland increases agricultural yields and diversifies income, which should lead to improvements in food and fodder provision, but also fuel security and many other benefits, even in the short term and in drought years. So I believe that the Great Green Wall has its advantages and such. However, there are reasons for success or failure. And one of the top keys to successful dryland restoration, according to me, is the use of native species when you go for restoration. So use restoration, use mixes of native species as they are already well known and appreciated by local populations. Also because they may have a bigger positive impact on soil fertility than when you introduce exotic species. They also help in groundwater recharge and availability, making that groundwater available. And also there is the issue of biodiversity, which all in all leads to more environmentally and economically resilient landscapes. And I give here some pictures of Boschia senegalensis, which grows very well in these drylands, but also produces seeds and fruits and seeds that can be used and are used in local nutrition. Now, biodiverse mixes, we can come to those after analysis of the landscape and of the possibilities, but also the limitations of those landscapes. So this and the presentation is shared with you, gives like a few models. So I won't go too much into detail, but this is like what I took from the net in a response and a commentary on what you see here model-wise. So try to restore ecosystems and do that with biodiverse and diverse mixes of trees. Then, in my own perception, you can only be successful when you work small scale, but then on a large scale. So a lot of small scale initiatives. I think that large scale and centrally managed initiatives only work in very specific environments. And the picture there was taken in China. So I think that you know what I mean when I say special environments. Often these large scale initiatives are costly and they often suffer from low seedling survival and lack of maintenance and follow-up. And that's mainly for lack of ownership and community commitment. So this is a burnt landscape, typically a feature that can be managed, that can be put into place by small scale farmers, by groups of committed farmers. However, within FAO and within the action against desertification, the idea was that large scale interventions can work. I could say that they will only work if they are community-led, and the word community was also pronounced in Jan's presentation. And so you can indeed go for large-scale intervention if the landscape properties more or less dictate this choice of technical intervention. And mainly it's landscapes that are devoid of any vegetation. So where you indeed would have many people put in their labor to actually start planting trees or seeds in those kinds of landscapes. But still, even if you go at it large scale, you need local community involvement. So this is like a killing proposition, you know. You need to mobilize committed communities. In other words, there is no intervention that you can see be successful that is not community planned, that is not community led, that is not community managed, monitored and reviewed. And then another thing, and sorry for those foresters present in the audience, keep foresters out. Foresters want to plant trees, but they don't know how to deal with people. Sorry for that. And so, well, where did you learn to chop trees? In Sahara? There are no trees in Sahara. See, that's what I mean. Community-led, that's the mantra, that's what you have to bear in mind. So once you see that farmers and communities take initiatives, you will indeed see that restoration will be highly successful. And there are many cases to prove that. It's also a lower cost initiative. And people will be motivated if they see that this mix of local tree species will indeed provide livelihood benefits. Now, one should not spoil local communities by bringing in a lot of money. The sense of ownership starts by people putting in their own money, their own labor, their own initiative. And I'm a microfinance man also at some instances. And when you put in microfinance, start from a savings first approach. Credit should also then come about, develop out of that savings logic. And please, here again, try not to help farmers by bringing in outside money. No. People have enough cash, money, means, they can save in kind or whatever, and they can build something from scratch with their own means. Another important factor is to build capacity, bring people to organize themselves, and they should choose their leaders, and we can assist by training their leaders. Another thing, it's the economy stupid, as the other one says. Bring tangible benefits by restoration, by bringing these mixes of trees, shrubs, and also grasses, so that there is fodder for the cows, the cattle. So there's also need for entrepreneurship training and proper financial mechanisms to assist people in building their own small factories and such. The role of women is very important, and so diversity is an enormously important factor. We must also try and assist in building those diverse management groups. And then we should go for a true enabling environment. And when I mean true, this means that there is a lot of issues to be addressed. And then there's still a number of issues that remain open. And you can have a look later on maybe, because I want maybe to conclude by putting in a nutshell what I wanted to convey. Put socio-economic development first. So it's not solely about trees, it's about economic development. Induce and start from a sense of ownership. Beware of foresters and the technicians' logic. Stop the limited intervention period project nonsense. A project of 4-5 years won't work. Go for a long time horizon. There's no new solutions. We know what the solutions are. We only have to implement them properly. And where there's political will and perseverance, there will be success. So all political and policy levels should assist. Thank you.